of a defender, takes a shot. Benson will make the save, and he will hang on to that. So we get our first whistle of the night just underway here at the Coliseum between the Komets and the Heartlanders.
Ben Boudreau, of course, last night, I asked him for the umpteenth time, how do you solve these slow starts? And he said, we just got to keep working at it. Try everything, whether it's different lines, different formations, and, they come out hard there and get some nice shots on goal to start that one off.
There's Garrett Van Wy to take the face-off. Here's a shot that is blocked. Now he hands it off right side to Siebenthaler. Siebenthaler is going to dart it back below the goal line. There's Oliver Cooper. Sean Boudreau in there trying to get it loose. Jesse Jock's in there for the Heartlanders, and it's going to roll to Benson, and he will cover it up. Well, the Fort Wayne Komets punched their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs. They have made the playoffs 61 times they last in the 71 seasons. Of course, you take out the COVID year, and that puts them up there with some big names in pro sports. Now, Cohn, I'll test you. How many times have the Detroit Red Wings made the playoffs in 96 seasons?
In 96 seasons? Oh, boy, I'm going to guess somewhere around 60.
64 times. So the Komets are right up there with the Red Wings as far as playoff appearance goes. But, of course, a couple extra seasons there for the Red Wings. So a great mark for the Komets as the Heartlanders are going to zip it into the Komet zone. Circle, here's a drive save made by Kaspersky. Rebound is going to find the back of the net, and the Komets give up the first goal again.
You just almost expected it this time. It's almost like you just want to get that first goal out of the way and start working on the comeback, and that's the mentality that we're in Fort Wayne these days.
Yeah, it was on the rebound. Kaspersky made the initial save, but could not scoop up the rebound, and the Heartlanders get on the board first. Blue line where it's going to be stopped by Jocks. Here's a drive and a save made. Or that was Beaudoin with the shot, and the save made by Kaspersky.
Only two teams in the ECHL have scored fewer first goals than Fort Wayne. That is Norfolk and that is Tulsa. Those are two of the three worst teams in the ECHL. So if you're an optimist, you look at Fort Wayne and say they're really resilient. They're really good at overcoming these one-goal deficits.
And when the Komets give up that first goal, they are 19-18-6. Right in front of the net, Komets are going to take it, which has been happening. You give up the first goal, and you give up the first power play as well.
The good news is, we've been hard on them for taking some undisciplined minors. I'm not sure that a delay of game qualifies as that. Sometimes it's just bad luck. It's a rule I don't like.
Face off to the right of Kaspersky. Is Maggio trying to hit Bowden's on the fly here on the right side. It's going to get into the Iowa zone, and it goes into the corner.
Komets were doing a really good job of getting a lot of traffic in front of the net there with guys like Bowden's and Andy Willis, and they certainly need to be doing that against an inexperienced goaltender like this.
Petrozelli into the corner. Taken away. And now the Heartlanders. Now poke checked away there by Masonis. And another penalty going to be called on the Komets. Tripping.
Which is interesting because just at the other end, there was a lot of clutching and grabbing behind the play. Anthony Petrozelli had an opportunity. He was held a little bit. I'm not saying that necessarily should have been a penalty, but if they're going to call some of the ticky-tacky things, you got to do it at both ends.
And the Komets go to the box. Jacob Graves this time. Rassel coming across the line, has Boudreau with him, coming in, taps it, and a save made by Robbins. Good looking pass there, but Robbins was able to come out and make the easy stop as Boudreau was only looking for a tip there, and he got it right into his pads.
Those can be very difficult plays when you're trying to set up that 2-on-1, but you got to keep everybody on side. They did a good job of doing it. He still got off a good opportunity, and it was a nice save.
Face off to the left of Rariad. See Kelb right there, top of the circle. Got everything on it. Beats Benson right above the glove.
Maybe the best part was he didn't tee up a huge slap shot. He recognized he had a screen. Let me just use a powerful wrist shot here. Let me pick my corner, and everything came together for the goal there.
And Justin, maybe you can answer me this. When did a wrist shot become a snipe? I hear that a lot, and I've always been confused.
Well, I remember sitting down here all the time with George Drysdale, and we'd talk about the death of the wrist shot. But you're right, over time it became a snapshot, then that somehow became a snipe. But I still think it's effective to have a good wrist shot, even from the point on the power play. The younger players don't do it. They're looking for the big booming shot. But if you get the screen like Cooper had there, it can work.
And the Komets here. Here's a little... Play as Bowdens comes across the line, goes down into the corner, gets pushed around, shoves it to the far side, and it's Rimshaw with a shot. Save made right there, and Benson able to keep it out, locks it up with the left leg, and he gets a whistle.
See, I like that shot. Even though it's low percentage from a difficult angle, he recognized Sean Boudria was right in front of the net. He was going to be there for a redirection, maybe a rebound. He did get a couple chops at the loose puck there, but it was still a nice opportunity, even if it was a shot from the corner.
And Matt Alvaro now will got a man open. It is Kelb. He'll take the shot right into the gut of Benson. He'll hang on to it.
And sometimes you end up looking for too perfect a shot. You had a wide open look from the bottom of the right circle, passed on it to send it back to the point, and you end up with a shot that isn't quite as good. Sometimes if you get that open opportunity, just take it, and good things can happen.
Benson doesn't. Orzak, left side, one-timer, and a save made by Kaspersky.
You know, look, on a power play, somebody's always going to be open, but Fort Wayne seemed a little too bunched up to me because Iowa really had two players open. They had a guy in front of the net. They had a guy in the opposite circle. That's going to create a great scoring opportunity for them, so Fort Wayne needs to make sure that they have enough space that they're guarding as many of these Iowa guys as they can on this power play.
Corbin Kasper, a shot right into the mitt of Benson. Komets leading the league in shots on goal, even though they've been outshot quite a bit over the last few games, but they still come in almost 37 shots a game right now, 24 on the board for the Komets, 18 for the Heartlanders.
So I'm always less concerned with the number of shots as the number of quality shots, because we've seen many a team that puts up 40, maybe 50 shots, but a lot of them are from the perimeter. So you want to see those quality shots. Fort Wayne's had a decent number of them tonight.
Rimshaw in the drop. Jonas kind of got turned around, able to regain his feet, but couldn't get the momentum back, and we're tied at 2.
Komets need a little bit more decisiveness when they are crossing into the offensive zone. Each of their last two possessions have had some tentative plays along the blue line. That one, they have a turnover at the blue line. Iowa brings it to the other end, and bing, bang, boom, tie game.
All right, 16:22 to go in the really number 2 centerman. And also, remember, Ty Felleber up in Milwaukee. So there's still a lot of weapons this Comet Club could get loaded up with, but it's just a matter of if and when they get down here.
Faceoffs will be even more pivotal in the playoffs, not just because of the obvious reasons, but because teams tend to get more aggressive, and you really need two guys on the ice at any given time who can take a faceoff well in case your top guy gets thrown out of the circle, which happens a lot in the postseason.
Yeah, and Ty Felleber is a guy who has filled in that role quite a bit this season. So Rimshaw to the far side, cut to the net, a shot, he scores! Drake Rimshaw gives the Komets the lead.
Again, they got some traffic. It was Andy Willis camped out in front of the net, waited for a little bit of help, and the goalie couldn't get a clear look at the shot from the left circle.
Second goal of the game for Rimshaw, 22 on the season. It'll be Van Wy picking up the goal. And it is now 4-2 Komets.
We talk a ton about Sean Boudria's goal-scoring ability, but probably not enough about his passing ability, and that's the second time tonight where a tic-tac-toe scoring play really evolved because he had a great pass in the middle of it.
Boudria will get another assist as Van Wy was right in the right spot at the right time. Knocks it home. At Pelletier, and he pulled the trigger on it, but rolled off his stick. To the far side here now. The Heartlanders regain the line, drop back pass, shot, and they score, and we're not done yet. It's a one-goal game now with 6:46 to go.
You know, I'm not a believer in the prevent defense. I do think that you should keep doing what's made you successful. But that being said, a 2-goal lead late in the third period, I would not let myself get into this end-to-end hockey game where I'm getting caught in transition. Fort Wayne got caught twice in the last, 15 to 20 seconds. And, of course, they give up a goal there.
Sturflinger getting the goal for Iowa. The far side. Now they got a man. It's Sturflinger. He's going to get behind everybody on a breakaway shot. He scores. Sturflinger all alone, and he pops it over the shoulder of Kaspersky, and the Komets. Everything was going so well, and now 3 straight goals unanswered by Iowa gives them the lead back for the first time since it was 1-0 in the first.
Marcus McIver and Darian Kelp just forgot about the guy behind them, and he was just sitting there for the transition pass. And that's the same thing we've been talking about all night. You got to, even if you get a little bit aggressive with your defenseman pushing up ice, you got to be mindful of the players that are coming in behind you.
And another game where we have hit the 9-goal mark total.